Outer Orange. Привет, my lovelies, and welcome back to another video. OuterOrange here today. We're going to be running through some results today. Vanguard 2024 Block A. This is top 16 deck breakdown. This was on May 5th. So here we have basically all the breakdown of all the decks. As you can see, we got a lot of Varga, a lot of Razio. Sharanui still performing because I'm pretty sure this is with the restriction. I could be wrong, but I think this is with the restriction now. Zorga, very wonderful to see. I'm actually really excited about this deck. Jeweled, Leonorn, Bagmir, Chaos, which I'm really happy to see Chaos is showing results. I actually think the deck's very spicy. 2 Luar, 2 Ava. I believe again this was with the dog now restricted, so they also lost their dog. 2 Ava. Ava's been popping up, getting more popular. It's kind of beginning of the popularity. We should start seeing her more and more. 2 Ballista, 2 Emma Jester. Another deck that I think actually got some new tools and makes it better. Prison, which I don't know if they got their new stuff yet, but the new stuff should make them a lot better. 1 Kyoka. Kyoka's actually a very spicy deck. 1 Mushiking, 1 Prism, and 1 My Go. Now, what I really like about this is that we're seeing quite a lot of different decks. Also, most of these decks are actually pretty powerful, so I'm really excited to see they're kind of showing up. I do see that Varga is definitely like one of the more popular decks, and then I'm really excited about Zorga. I've been hearing a lot of good stuff about Zorga. I can't wait to test it. I obviously have all the cards except for the new stuff, so it'll be a very easy upgrade for me. Really hyped about that. Really excited to see that other decks are also performing for you, like Ava, also Ballista, and then we're seeing some old decks kind of come back around here. And Kyoka is actually really interesting. I'll be making a video probably in the future about Kyoka and sort of like her new stances, because it's a very different deck from what it was. We just got the promo too, so getting the promo, and then we're gonna get some new cards when the new set drops. It's gonna be just even better. I'm talking about specifically Divine Set 2, where they actually introduced new lyrical cards. So there's that. That's Block A. We also have Block B, which had a lot more Zorga, by the way. But Zorga is very, it's a good deck. I think people are starting to. This is kind of like early on Zorga, so it's gonna build and build. We have the Razio, Varga, Vladimir, Sharanui, Ava, more Ava on this side, Ballista, Jeweled, 2 Prism, 2 My Go, 2 Lescaria, that's the bug deck, 1 Morphonica, that deck's pretty spicy too, by the way, 1 Jet, also spicy, Greedon, very spicy, Tamayora, and 1 Charmelt. All very interesting decks. What I like about this is, I'm not gonna lie, I've been testing a lot of these decks with the exception of Vladimir. Basically anything set 2 related, haven't really tested, but a lot of these decks actually can perform really well. It's just interesting to see that they're starting to show results again, that we're starting to see kind of more of the more obscure decks. The only deck I kind of question is Tamayura, but everything else in here is actually like really saucy. Next we have also the Block A top 4. So this is the Chaos deck, so it's really cool to see Chaos coming out. I feel like Chaos actually performs decently in Japan. It has like these random tops that kind of come out of nowhere. We have the Varga, Chaos, and Sharanui package here, and then we have Luard, Prison, and Varga, and then we have Leonorn, Sharanui, Ava, and then we have Raziel, Leonorn, and Zorga. All very good teams in my opinion. I think these are all just well-performing teams. I don't know if Prison has the new stuff in here yet, but if it does, then the deck is very spicy. They don't have the new support. This deck's a little lacking, but they do have new support. Yeah, I think this is the new support. I don't remember actually what the card looks like. I'm pretty sure it's this card. This is the card that basically restands, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it restands. Yeah, this card's disgusting. I think Prison gets a lot better. This is a good control card right here, and everything else is just like what Prison's had for on our side, and then also the new Regalius piece. But long story short, it's I think this deck's actually pretty insane. But yeah, so that's the Block A, and then we also have Block B. With the Vladimir, Zorga, Velstra package, we got the Razio, Varga, Jeweled, we have Raziel, Prison again, Zorga, we have My Go, Sharanui, and Varga here. All very good competitive decks. People sleep on this, man. People sleep on this deck, man. But let's go over. We also have Vanguard tri-format that happened, and here we have Ava. Freaking the Tiger deck went to work through. That's crazy. And then Sharanui, we have Zorga, Gurgit, and Rose. We have Zorga, Gurgit, and Highlander, and we have Jeweled, Davos, and Premium NOK. So all honestly pretty good. I think this one's the weirdest one on this list. I am curious to see what this is, so let's check this one out real quick. It might be the MFD package. The MFD package is just really strong. In V, people really underestimate it. It's high roll, but it's strong. But no, this is actually just pure. This is pure Tiger build. I mean, pure Tiger build is good too. You draw a bunch of cards, you tell your opponent minus 10k, you have the new promo that kind of helps you dig deeper. As long as you don't brick, you don't like lose out on these, it's good. But that's what the Ribble is for here, to kind of help out. Seeing GG again is actually kind of wild. I don't remember what this card does anymore. It's been that long. Having the extra drive checks off this, off his effect, and off his effect is really nice. Obviously, we have a little bit of this random search here. Got the Chrono Tooth. This is big mandatory. They're not running the Grade 2 Tiger, the one that just says draw this card basically, and also he has a crit on rear, which is interesting. It's kind of up to you if you want to run it or not. I think it's pretty good, but I also understand not running it because both these cards dropped, and these cards along with this card is very strong Grade 2 slots. You don't really want to mess up that engine, and putting the Tiger is impossible unless you drop a card like this. Basically, that's actually probably where I have the Tigers in this slot. I think I have it at 3. But that's so that's that, and then everything else is just the usual standard stuff. We have the Zorga, Night Rose is floating around. The Ava in first place is really awesome to see as well as that deck's performing. And we have, I believe this is Bulgaria. So this is tri format. We had Rose, Prism, Rose, and then we had Gurgit, Sharanui, and this is SIANA and Tira combined. Now, I can't remember. I think I want to say this was Dave Vecht. I think Dave Vecht is the one that piloted this. I haven't had a chance to really look at it, but it's actually very exciting to see a completely different Bermuda build. Anj, Orphist, and Katrina. People still think this deck's bad, and I'm like, bro, how? And then we have Gurgit, Thegra, and Sharanui. This thing Thegra is actually kind of odd because it's not like. I think people sleep on this deck a little bit. It can be very strong. It pumps numbers like crazy. Then we also have D. This is just pure D. We have Messiah, Minerva, Sharanui, Prison, Sharanui, and Youthberg, Sharanui, Lord Prism, and Bastion, Prison, and this is the Cat deck. I haven't seen this deck in a while, so glad to see it's performing. It's a restanding Vanguard deck, and you know how those decks go. Oh, this is an updated list. So we have the updated version, so we can actually see this tier list. Let's go ahead and check out this tier list now that we have the update. I'm sorry, y'all. All right, so this is the tier SIANA list. So let's see what we got cooking here. So basically, we're going for either approach here, which makes sense to be honest, because you don't mind her being a Vanguard, and you know, she also does stuff, and then you can also use Tira as a backup plan, and that's okay too. So like, also, the protection is really nice. Your opponent chooses a card from their hand and anything you discard, if they don't discard it, bind the rear guard. So binding is just still like really powerful. I think binding is like, kind of in the same mechanic in Vanguard because it's really hard to undo it unless you're playing Stoicheia. And then having the restands along with that is just really nice. Along with these cards being able to work with the constant pressure of you denographing your opponent. Having a quicker access to them or basically using the cards where they belong most makes sense to me, because also on top of that, these cards also work with SIANA. So they have a second effect, by the way, because most people use them in Highlander, but you can also play them as SIANA. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, if you have a Vanguard SIANA, you can get a 5k. And then for each of your points open rearguard circles, you can get additional 10k draw cards. So you can obviously use these to your advantage. This one also goes to soul choosing rearguards to get plus 10k, so that's also really nice. And it says when attacks or is attacked, by the way, so you can, it's something in the battle, but you can also kind of protect yourself a little bit here if you have ways to protect yourself. We have a little bit of more of that soul draw engine here to play remove, to get back the Tiras. We have this to get back the Tiras. Also running this for the extra power, I can understand that. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I think this card's disgusting. I think people really sleep on Lapria. I don't know if Dave actually ever went into Lapria, if Dave is the one that piloted this list. I'm pretty sure it was Dave. But Lapria is disgusting. I was actually playing Lapria in my Anj tier list, and I was like, this thing is like so good. Like, you bomb deck everything, redraw, recall. It is so good. So all your on-place abilities proc. Obviously, if you have Tiras the Vanguard, you can like, it's just a good backup plan. It's actually a good stride. The only downside is that you really gotta be careful with your counterblast. But overall, this all makes sense to me. Going into this, also obviously Heltruda is just insane. So Heltruda going from Heltruda to this is really good. So other than that, I'm not gonna go too deep into the other ones. I think we're fine there. But if you guys need the updated, here's the update. We're still missing a couple, but we got some updated ones. So there's that. And then let's go over to, this is Duluth, Georgia. So this was really exciting. I actually was in this, but I was only in this for D. I didn't play Tri-4. I played Shadowverse, the top 4 in there. So I was on that side of things. But here we have the Tri format. We have the Anj. I'm so happy to see Anj still perform well, getting through these Gurgits. This is Crow playing the double on-hit engine that I brought up a while ago. He's also been testing it alongside, like, while like when Jermaine first came up, we've definitely like talked a little bit back and forth about like Anj and like sort of where she is in terms of meta. But yeah, he actually, I think at some point he only ran the grade 3, but he actually put the grade 2 in as well, put Lieselot in. And actually one of the builds he had was a build I tried a while ago. Surprisingly enough, it didn't really work for me. He basically runs Lieselots in his build, and for some reason for when I was playing it, I just kept bricking like crazy, so I actually took the Lieselots out. But hey, they worked for him. He got first place with it, so there's that. But then we also had Sharanui in the B slot. And then we have this the Messiah, the leader combo. This deck can really high roll you down like crazy. It just keeps restanding stuff, and it gets very brutal. So I really like the Wombo combo here. Then we have Gurgit, Sharanui, and Ghidorah. No surprise there, Ghidorah is still performing. We have Gurgit, Kyrie. Kyrie is also really good, by the way. Gurgit, Kyrie, and this is, I believe, Dimension Police or Richter. I don't know which one this is. I don't know if I want to know. I'm so confused. But Kyrie is actually still a really well-performing deck. I think people kind of sleep on this deck a little bit. It's just one of those decks where when it sees its engine, it just pops off like crazy, and it's actually insane. Especially since you can actually go you're actually okay with going first or second with this deck, and actually having the choice makes it so much more fun. And you can actually choose to go second into stride decks, and then just pop off like crazy, and that's really cool. And then we have 4 points. We have the Hamsky, we have the Shernui, and the Katrina. So overall, really good stuff there. And then over in D, we also, by the way, this is the same team that's right here. They got 3rd place both days, and notice their names are flopped in. That's Zarin Zephyr's team, by the way. Really awesome dude. It was really nice to see him top both days. I was like, let's go, dude. It was really hype. I was really excited for him. But aside from that, for first place, we have the Messiah Shernui Luard package. Can't go wrong with this. I'm not gonna lie. It's just they're all good decks. I would say the Messiah personally, I'm not like, I don't really value Messiah as much as other people do. But these are, it's funny, they all went stride decks too. That's kind of crazy. I would have been like Kingslayer stride deck machine or something like that, because it's all just stride decks. But these two are just absolutely insane. I feel like as long as you have these two on the team, you're perfectly fine. The third teammate can be like basically anything as long as you have these two as your powerhouse. I'm just being honest with you, like these decks are just kind of strong. Like we have Greedon, Shernui, and Luard. Again, like look at this. Like, you know what I mean? But I will say Greedon's actually also really good. I really like Greedon. I personally really respect it. So I think the deck's actually kind of cracked. And then we have Bastion, Java. This is the, and then we had the Kyrie here. And in 4th place we had Leonore, Charmount, and Shernui. Now we actually faced these guys after we had just lost to Pro's team. They were playing there was this team, but they were playing D, obviously, so they're playing different decks. And it was very unfortunate. This was the guy that I super bricked against. Like it was like the worst game I had that day type of thing. It was really rough. I just sat there like I just can't do anything. I did draw into 4 PGs, which into Charm Out, you want that, but I also drew into all my triggers, so I just kind of sat there like oops. And I don't remember what happened to either of my teammates, to be honest with you. I don't know what happened to them, but it's really nice to see them perform. If I'm not mistaken, this is their first top. I don't remember. I know them, they're my locals, but I don't know well enough to know their topping results. But it's just really nice to see them up here. I'm sure they worked really hard. They play a lot of D. D is their like one of their favorite formats, and they proxy a lot like for the future upcoming formats. So it's really nice to see them up here. So that's very exciting. But that, guys, that's everything for Duluth, Georgia. I really actually enjoyed this event more, but I think it's because I spent half the day not playing. I spent half the weekend not playing Vanguard, but also because I got a chance to play with my boyfriend and one of my closer friends. So I personally had a really good time. Because that's part of the team events. The point of team events is to kind of just enjoy it as a team, right? So so that's the best part about it. So it's supposed to be fun and exciting. Overall, I think this event went very smoothly out of every event. And hold up. OuterOrange here. There's one thing I want to comment on. Actually, it's something I was talking to my locals today after I had already recorded this video. There's one issue that was with this event, and the issue was definitely the time rules. And I just want to make it clear that having the double losses happen the way they did was a little rough. If you don't know the time rules, basically once the time is up, if people are still playing, they just instantly get a double loss. There's no more turns, and there was a lot of people who lost because of this. Now I will say it is it's usually enough time to play, but sometimes it does happen that people go into time, and it sucks to end in a double loss. I wish instead of a double loss there was a better way the deciding game could be decided. I know it's kind of hard because obviously some people could, you know, play for less damage or whatever, but I will say just straight up getting a double loss because going into time, it felt pretty awful, and I do hope that changes. But the event itself went well, so I just want to let that be known. I was very surprised how quick everything was going. No DQs happened as far as I'm aware. I wasn't on the tri-format side. I don't think any DQs happened over there. So it's actually just a really well-run event. I think it went very smooth. It went very fast. They just kept up with it. Nothing weird happened. From my perspective, it looked like the event went really well. I obviously can't talk for every person that was there. Maybe some people had different experiences, but I personally thought it was a really well-run event between all the different games that were happening. It's every event prior to this one, there's always been like some weird stuff going on, but this one was definitely felt like really good. So hope you guys that were there enjoyed it, and also thanks for everyone that said hi to me. It was a really pleasure talking to everyone. I know I was kind of busy doing my stuff as I always am, but it was always a pleasure seeing everyone. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna end it here. And yeah, congrats to everyone. Anyway, guys, peace out. $50 at shop code if you need goodies, and yeah, bye.